The case you're about to see is a fictional one, but the procedure is legally accurate. The characters are played by actors, but the jury is selected from members of the general public.
Sylvia Kelly. You stand indicted on 2 counts. On the first count, you were charged with cruelty to a person under 16, contrary to Section 1, Subsection 1 of the Children and Young Persons Act 1933. And the particulars are that on the 9th of August 1976 at 12 Micklethwaite Mansions, Fulchester, you, being a person who had attained the age of 16 years, having the charge of Leonie Klein, a child under that age, willfully ill-treated the said child in a manner likely to cause unnecessary suffering to the said child or injury to her health. To that charge, how do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On the second count, you were also charged with cruelty.
Sylvia Kelly is a childminder living in a dilapidated block of flats in Fulchester. Whilst in her care, a small girl, Leonie Klein, has fallen 2 floors from a dangerous fire escape and been seriously injured. The child claims that the minder had locked her out on the fire escape because she was cross with her.
Willfully neglected the said child in a manner likely to cause unnecessary suffering to the said child or injury to her health. How do you plead to this charge? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
The accused habitually left open the door to this very dangerous fire escape while she was looking after small children, which in itself, in my submission, constitutes neglect. But on the day in question, she'd lost her temper with this very small girl and actually locked her out on this balcony as a punishment. Now, neglect is defined as follows. Paragraph 2773 of Archbold, Your Honour. Neglect is the want of reasonable care. That is, the omission of such steps as a reasonable parent would take, such steps as are usually taken in the ordinary experience of mankind. Now, members of the jury, it is my submission that not only did Sylvia Kelly not take the steps that a reasonable parent would take, but she deliberately placed this unfortunate child in a situation where an accident was bound to happen. And that, in my submission, constitutes neglect. You are Amelia Judith Klein.
I am.
And you live at 17 Woodside Avenue, Fulchester.
Yes.
And you're the mother of Leonie Klein, who was injured on the 9th of August last year while she was in the care of the accused Sylvia Kelly.
Yes.
Now, how old was Leonie at the time?
4.5.
And will you tell the court, Mrs. Klein, how your daughter came to be in the care of the accused?
Yes, Mrs. Kelly was minding her for me while I was at work.
And what sort of work do you do?
I'm an actress.
And over what period of time had the accused been looking after your child?
On and off for about 2 years, but I didn't leave Leonie with with Mrs. Kelly all the time, only when I was at work.
And how often would you say that was?
Well, it varied, I suppose, every couple of months.
And what happened to Leonie the rest of the time?
I looked after her myself.
Now, could you tell us what happened when you took Leonie around to Mrs. Kelly's flat on August the 9th, Mrs. Klein?
Just a moment, Mr. Hudson. The day the accident occurred, Mrs. Klein, for how long had you been leaving Leonie with Mrs. Kelly this time? I mean, for how many consecutive days?
That was the first day.
And how long was it since you had last left Leonie with Mrs. Kelly?
It's a long time. 3 months. I'd virtually stopped using her, you see. But my agent rang me on the Friday and asked me if I could be in Manchester on the Monday, so I had to find a minder quickly.
So that prior to that Monday, your daughter had not been left with Mrs. Kelly for some 3 months?
No.
I see. Carry on, Mr. Hudson.
Could you tell us what happened when you took Leonie around to the accused flat, Mrs. Klein?
Yes, I noticed that the door was open.
And which door was that?
The door to the balcony. There was a long corridor in Mrs. Kelly's flat, and I noticed that the door was open.
And did you comment on this?
Yes, I did. I said I didn't think it was very safe with small children around to leave the door open.
And what did she reply?
She said it was so hot. It was because it was so hot that she had the door open that it created a through draft.
And what did you say to that?
Well, it was hot. I appreciated that, but I said I thought nevertheless the door ought to be kept closed.
Now, did you inspect the balcony and the fire escape, Mrs. Klein?
Yes, I did. I went out there.
And what did you see there?
Well, it was terribly dangerous. I mean, nearly all the railings had gone.
So was there any safety rail at all on the outer side of the balcony?
No, nothing at all.
Now, after you'd commented on the danger to small children of leaving the door to the balcony open, now what did Mrs. Kelly say?
Nothing. But she did shut the door and she locked it.
She locked it, so that when you left Leonie there for the day, the balcony door was shut and locked.
Yes.
Now, did you speak to your daughter about the balcony, Mrs. Klein?
Yes, I did. I told her that it was very dangerous, and I thought, no account must she go out there.
Oh, you said she was 4 at the time?
4.5, yes.
And she would have understood your instructions, do you think?
Oh, yes, yes, certainly.
Would you say that she was an obedient child, Mrs. Klein?
Yes, she's always been a very sensible little girl.
Now, you then went off to work at the TV studios.
Yes.
And what happened next, Mrs. Klein?
Well, at about 3:30 in the afternoon, a telephone call came through from Fulchester Hospital to say that Leonie had had a bad accident and would I come right away.
And did you go right away?
Yes, I did. I dropped everything and went.
And what did you find when you got there?
Leonie was unconscious. The doctor said she'd had very bad spinal injuries and she'd broken some bones in her pelvis.
Very distressing for you. I understand that, in fact, she's had to have 2 further operations since the accident.
Yes, and there's at least another one to come.
So these were very serious injuries indeed.
Yes.
Now, when you were at the hospital, did you meet the accused there, Mrs. Klein?
Yes.
And did she say anything to you?
She just kept saying over and over again that she was sorry.
I see. She kept on saying over and over again that she was sorry. Did she explain what had happened?
Oh, she said it was the balcony. She tried to offload the whole thing onto the landlord, make out that it was his fault.
Did she explain how Leonie came to be out on the balcony?
She said she kept going out there. I asked her why the door had been left open, and she said they'd all been roasting in the flat.
So that in spite of what you'd said to her about the balcony, she must have unlocked the door to it after you left?
Yes.
Now, at this stage, Mrs. Klein, did the possibility arise that Leonie might have been locked out there deliberately?
Well, obviously not until she regained consciousness.
Thank you, Mrs. Klein. We'll come to that when your daughter gives evidence.
Mrs. Klein, do you know where the room was where the children normally played at Mrs. Kelly's?
Yes, it was a large room at the front of the flat.
At the front of the flat? So it was at the opposite end of the corridor from the balcony?
Yes.
So that if the children were playing in the room which Mrs. Kelly intended for their use, they would have been nowhere near the balcony?
Oh, come on. You know what children are. They're always getting into things they shouldn't. Dangerous situations attract them.
Do they, Mrs. Klein? Or is it perhaps that dangerous situations attract your child? Is it perhaps just your child who gets into things she shouldn't?
I think that's most unfair.
Now, you said you decided to stop using Mrs. Kelly as a childminder. Could you tell us why?
Well, for one thing, she had too many children.
I see. How many children was she looking after when you'd last used her? In May, I think it must have been.
Yes, it was about then. 7, including her own 2.
And this seemed to you too many?
Yes.
Then how is it that on August the 9th you decided to leave Leonie with Mrs. Kelly once again?
Well, I've already explained that. It was an emergency. My agent rang me at short notice, and I had no one else to leave Leonie with.
Did you inquire as to how many children she had this time?
Yes.
Mm.
Yes.
What did Mrs. Kelly say?
Well, actually, she said 2 of the children would be collected by their father after lunch and that they wouldn't be there all day.
But she didn't actually say how many children would be there?
No, she's sly like that.
And you didn't press her?
No.
You just assumed everything would be all right?
Look, I was desperate. I wanted to mind her. There was nothing else I could do.
You could have changed your mind about work.
No, I couldn't. Not at that stage. I had to be in Manchester by 11 o'clock.
Mrs. Klein, you could have decided not to go to Manchester, could you not? If the welfare of your child mattered to you more than some inconsequential part in a television show?
Well, of course, the welfare of my child mattered to me.
Did it, Mrs. Klein? You're an articulate and highly educated woman. You know what constitutes good child care and what does not. And yet you deliberately chose to leave your child, your only child, with someone about whom you had grave doubts. I suggest this was hardly the action of a responsible and loving parent.
Oh, Your Honour, I must object. It's the extent of the accused's responsibility for this child's injuries that we're trying to ascertain, not Mrs. Klein.
Your Honour, my case is that this prosecution would not have been brought had Mrs. Klein not insisted. It is therefore material to the case to discover why Mrs. Klein is so keen on prosecution. Both her attitude to the child and to the woman who looked after her are highly relevant to this case.
Yes, please proceed, Mrs. Fenton.
I'm obliged, Your Honour. Mrs. Klein, you say that you noticed the balcony was dangerous.
Yes.
Yet knowing the danger of the balcony, you stuck to your decision and left Leonie with Mrs. Kelly.
I'd understood that Mrs. Kelly was going to keep the door shut.
But I think you also said you told Leonie not to go out on the balcony.
Yes, I did.
So you didn't think that Mrs. Kelly would necessarily keep the door closed after you'd gone?
Well, I didn't know. Anyway, Leonie didn't fall off the balcony because the door was left open. She fell off because Sylvia deliberately locked her out there.
That is your speculation, Mrs. Klein. I shall come to that in a moment. Now, I think you said that your daughter was a sensible and obedient child,
Yes.
whereas my client will contend that that was not so.
Well, she would, wouldn't she?
Would she, Mrs. Klein? Why?
She never liked Leonie.
Really? What makes you say that?
Leonie's a much more sensible, intelligent child than the ordinary run of children that Sylvia looks after. She needs stimulation, more things to do. She's a clever girl. She's alert. She talks a lot. You can't just shove her in a room and leave her to get on with things.
It amazes me, Mrs. Klein, the way you were prepared to leave your child with someone you felt as unsuited to Leonie's needs as Mrs. Kelly.
Look, I've told you. My God, it wasn't as if I left her there from 8 until 6 days a week. As far as I was concerned, it was an occasional arrangement, an emergency arrangement.
All the more unfortunate, then, that this accident should have happened.
Colchester Police Station. At 9:15 p.m. on the 9th of August, I went to number 12, Micklethwaite Mansions, Colchester, where I saw a woman who identified herself to me as Sylvia Kelly, the accused. I said to her that Mrs. Klein had reported that her 4-year-old daughter, Leonie, had fallen from the fire escape leading from Mrs. Kelly's flat, and that Mrs. Klein alleged that Mrs. Kelly was looking after several children in unsafe circumstances. Mrs. Kelly was very distressed about the accident. She explained to me that the child had gone out there alone and had fallen when one of the steps had come away while she was trying to descend the fire escape.
What had the child fallen onto, officer? Was it grass or gravel or what?
It was flagstone, Your Honour, concrete. The courtyard was paved.
I see. Carry on, Mr. Hudson.
Now, officer, would you say this balcony constituted an obvious hazard for small children?
Well, if the door was open, sir, yes, I would. No question about it.
And what about if a child were put out on the balcony?
Well, that would have been asking for trouble, sir.
Yes, thank you, officer. I have no further questions.
You didn't make any charges against Mrs. Kelly after you'd inspected the balcony, did you, Constable Mack?
No. I mentioned that Mrs. Klein had said the balcony was very dangerous. I didn't want to go too hard on her, owing to she was so upset.
The defendant was so upset?
Yes.
Well, you didn't charge Mrs. Kelly with any offence, Constable Mack. Would you tell us what action you did take?
We phoned Fulchester Social Services Department and left the matter with them.
So at that stage, that is to say on the evening after the accident, after you'd inspected the balcony, in your view, this was not a matter for the Crown?
Not really, no.
Because, you see, my learned friend is suggesting that keeping children in that flat with the fire escape in the condition it was in, of itself, constituted negligence.
Yes, well, it did, but, I mean, it seemed a bit hard dumping it all on her. There are a lot of people negligent in this situation. The landlord, he should have seen that the fire escape was in good repair. And the parents, well, they must have known that Mrs. Kelly wasn't a registered minder.
Oh, now, wait a minute. We have to be very careful here not to refer to matters that have no bearing on this case.
Your Honour, I think the jury will inevitably realise that Mrs. Kelly was not a registered child minder and that she was breaking the law in this respect. I think it's better to admit that now, not to keep trying to skate round it.
Very well, as you wish. Members of the jury, you will have heard that Mrs. Kelly is not a registered child minder and therefore was committing an offence in looking after these children. That offence is not a very serious one and is dealt with by magistrates. It's not dealt with in the Crown Court. You are not concerned as to whether Mrs. Kelly was a registered child minder or not. What is at issue here is whether she was willfully neglectful and whether she locked the child out on this dangerous balcony. Carry on, Mrs. Fenton.
Thank you, Your Honour. So, Constable Mack, on the evening of the 9th of August, you decided this unfortunate accident was not a matter for the Crown and referred the case to Fulchester Social Services.
Yes.
Did Mrs. Klein contact you again?
Yes, she phoned on the 19th of August.
To say what?
She wanted to know if we were bringing charges against Mrs. Kelly.
And what did you tell her?
That we left the matter with Fulchester Social Services Department.
And what was Mrs. Klein's reaction to that?
She said she was surprised. She said she thought we would have brought a charge of criminal negligence against her.
Was that all she said?
No, she said that Leonie had told her that Mrs. Kelly had locked her out.
This was the first time you'd heard of that?
Yes.
And Mrs. Klein mentioned it after you told her you were not bringing criminal charges against Mrs. Kelly?
Yes.
And what did you do about these new allegations about Mrs. Kelly?
We went back to interview her and we spoke to the child and to Mrs. Williams, the lady who was first on the scene.
You did that immediately after Mrs. Klein had made the allegations?
No. Mrs. Klein came in again on the 20th to see the super, and it was after she'd spoken to him that I went back to see Mrs. Kelly.
And what did Mrs. Kelly have to say when you told her about these new allegations that she had locked Leonie out?
She said, "That's ridiculous. I'd never do a thing like that. They're making it up. They just want to make trouble."
Was Mrs. Kelly charged that day, Constable Mack?
No.
So can you tell us when Mrs. Kelly was charged with willfully neglecting and ill-treating Leonie Klein?
She was charged on the 30th of September, 1976.
6 weeks after the allegations were made.
Yes.
A long delay. The truth is, the police were reluctant to bring charges in this case, weren't they, Constable Mack?
Well, yes. I mean, as far as locking the child out, it was just the child's word against hers.
Precisely. And it was only because of Mrs. Klein's insistence that these charges were brought.
Well, Mrs. Klein remained convinced that there was a case against the defendant, yes. And my superiors agreed that there was evidence.
So I would be right, would I not, in concluding from this, that had Mrs. Klein been a little less insistent, the Fulchester police would not have brought charges against Mrs. Kelly?
I really can't say.
No. But I'm sure the jury will be able to draw their own conclusions from this. Thank you very much, Constable Mack. You've been most helpful.
I call Selma Williams.
Could I be told what you've just told Mr. Hudson, please?
Your Honour, the witness isn't present at court this morning.
Not present. Well, then where is she? Was she notified of this hearing?
Yes, Your Honour, a full witness order was made in her case.
Well, in that case, perhaps the police better make some inquiries. Have you another witness you can call, or do we have to adjourn?
We could take the child next, if Your Honour's agreeable.
By all means. Better than wasting the public's money.
I call Leonie Klein.
Hello, Leonie. You've come to tell us what happened the day you fell off the balcony, have you?
Yes.
Now, Leonie, do you know what a lie is?
It's when you don't tell the truth.
That's right, it's when you don't tell the truth. And is it good or bad to tell lies?
It's bad.
It's bad, good girl. So, are you going to tell us the truth about what happened the day you fell off the balcony?
Yes.
Good girl. And, do you know about God, Leonie? Yes, well, I think in view of her age, she'd better give her evidence unsworn. All right, Mr. Hudson.
Thank you, Your Honour. Now, Leonie, you'll have to talk very loudly so we can all hear you. All right? Can you give me your name and address, first of all?
Leonie Ann Klein, 17 Woodside Avenue, Fulchester.
Very good. And how old are you, Leonie?
5.5.
5.5.
1.5.
Oh, 5.5.
Yes.
And do you remember going to Mrs. Kelly's flat?
Yes.
And do you remember the balcony there?
Yes.
Now, did your mummy tell you anything about that balcony?
Yes.
What did she say?
She said I wasn't to go out on it.
And did she say why?
Yes, because it was very dangerous.
Because it was very dangerous, because you might fall off.
Yes.
Now, did you go out on it, Leonie?
No.
But you did fall off, didn't you?
Yes.
So how did you come to be out on the balcony when you fell off, Leonie?
Sylvia made me go out.
Sylvia made you go out?
Yes.
And why did Sylvia make you go out?
She was cross with me.
I see. And what happened when Sylvia got cross with you?
She smacked me.
She smacked you? Where did she smack you?
On my bottom.
And did she smack you once or lots of times?
Lots of times.
And then what did she do?
She made me go out on the balcony.
Now, can you remember what she said?
Yes.
What did she say?
Stay out there then.
Stay out there, then.
Yes.
And then what happened?
She shut me out there.
She shut you out there. And could you get back in again?
No.
Why couldn't you?
I couldn't open the door.
Did you try to open the door?
Yes.
And how long were you out there, Leonie?
Don't know, a long time though.
And then what happened?
I wanted to go home.
You wanted to go home, so what did you do?
I started to go down the steps.
And what happened then?
Don't know.
You fell down, didn't you?
Yes.
Poor Leonie. Well, I think you've been a very good little girl to answer all my questions. Thank you very much.
Your Honour, I wonder if the mother might be asked to leave the court while I cross-examine the child.
Is that necessary, Mrs. Fenton? I think it might unnerve the child. She is, after all, very young.
I think it is, Your Honour. I feel the mother's presence might inhibit the child and cause her to answer she feels her mother might wish.
Well, if you feel it's really necessary. Mrs. Klein, I wonder if you'd be so good as to leave us just for a moment.
Where's my mummy going?
Join us again tomorrow when the Queen against Kelly will be resumed in the Crown Court. The case you're about to see is a fictional one, though the procedure is legally accurate. The characters are played by actors, but the jury is selected from members of the general public. Sylvia Kelly is a childminder living in a dilapidated block of flats in Fulchester. Whilst in her care, a small girl, Leonie Klein, has fallen 2 floors from a dangerous fire escape and been badly injured. The child claims that the minder had locked her out on the fire escape because she was cross with her. We rejoin the case as Mrs. Fenton, counsel for the defence, begins her cross-examination of the child. At her request, the mother has been excluded from the court.
Thank you, Your Honour. Did you like going to Sylvia's, Leonie?
Yes.
Did you?
No.
Why didn't you like going there?
She kept on getting cross with me.
Did she? What did she get cross with you about?
Don't know, she just didn't like me.
Did she tell you she didn't like you? Did she tell you she didn't like you, or did Mummy say she didn't like you? Leonie, I want you to try and remember why Sylvia got cross with you the day you fell off the balcony.
Everyone kept being horrible to me.
Who kept being horrible to you? The other children?
Yes.
What did they do?
They kept teasing me and Kevin wouldn't be my friend.
So what did you do?
I didn't do anything, but Sylvia said I didn't got cross with me.
Are you sure Sylvia didn't get cross with you for going out on the fire escape, Leonie?
Yes.
Now, before you fell off the fire escape, did a lady talk to you? A lady on the balcony downstairs?
No.
Are you sure, Leonie? Leonie, are you sure?
Yes.
Because you see, I've been told that Mrs. Williams from downstairs told you to go inside. Don't you remember that?
No.
When you woke up in the hospital, did you remember falling off the fire escape?
Yes.
And what did you think Mummy would say? Did you think Mummy would be cross with you? Did you? Can you answer yes or no?
Yes.
You did think Mummy would be cross with you?
Yes.
And she was?
A bit.
She was cross with you?
She was cross with Sylvia.
You don't think perhaps that Mummy was really cross with herself and she just wanted to put the blame on someone else?
Well, Your Honour, this is pure psychological speculation. Furthermore, the child isn't nearly old enough to withstand this sort of emotional bullying.
Your Honour, it is crucially important to establish whether or not this child is telling the truth. I'm merely suggesting a very likely reason for her to lie, namely fear of her mother's anger.
Yes, but I don't see how a child can be expected to answer that question. Did you understand that question, Leonie?
No.
Leonie, did you tell Mummy that Sylvia locked you out on the balcony so that Mummy wouldn't be cross with you?
I want my mummy.
Yes, well, I don't think there's any point in trying to protract this ordeal, Mrs. Fenton. I don't think we're going to get an answer.
No, Your Honour.
Have you any further
No,
questions?
Your Honour,
then?
the point is made.
Please.
Oh, Christ, that bloody woman. Hasn't she done enough harm already? It's all right, darling, it's all right.
Mum's here.
Now, Mrs. Tilley, you work for the Fulchester Social Services Department, do you not?
That's right.
And can you tell me when you first met the defendant?
I went round to see her on August the 10th, the day after the accident.
And what time of day did you visit her?
It was in the morning at about 11:30.
What was Mrs. Kelly doing?
She was looking after her own 2 children, and there were 4 other children there.
Making 6 children in all?
Yes.
Now, did you consider this to be a lot of children for one woman to be looking after, Mrs. Tilley?
Well, yes, I did.
I mean, what's the maximum number of children that a minder is permitted to look after at one time under council regulations?
Well, we normally rule that a woman should look after no more than 3 children under 5, including her own.
And why is that?
Well, we feel it's not possible to give adequate care and attention to more than that number of children. Plus the fact that we do like our minders to get out with the children, to parks, playgrounds, 1 o'clock clubs, that sort of thing. 3 children under 5 are about all that any one person can cope with.
Yes, thank you. Now, when you went to see Mrs. Kelly, did you inspect the premises?
Yes.
And was the balcony door open or shut on the day you went?
It was open, but Mrs. Kelly had jammed an old fire guard across it.
Now, Mrs. Tilley, if you had inspected the defendant's premises with a view to registering her as a childminder, what would have been your opinion of this balcony?
Well, the balcony itself was clearly very unsafe, but in fact the danger could have been very easily contained.
Yes, can you explain what you mean by that?
Well, all that was needed was to fit a gate across the balcony door while it was open.
Though this, of course, would not have solved the problem if, as Leonie alleges, she had been shut outside by Mrs. Kelly as a punishment.
No.
Mrs. Tilley, would this not have involved some sort of carpentry, some sort of structural work to the premises?
No, Your Honour. These gates are adjustable, and we supply them free of charge, the department does, to our registered minders.
I see. And how tall are these gates?
About 3 foot, Your Honour.
3 foot? Which wouldn't presumably have prevented a determined 4-year-old from climbing over it if he or she had set their minds to it.
No, but it would have broken the clear run out from corridor to fire escape, and of course protected the younger children.
Yes, thank you, Mrs. Tilley. Carry on, Mr. Hudson.
What other safety precautions does the council advise, Mrs. Tilley?
Well, there's no statutory list as such, but we generally insist on fire guards, for instance, and we don't allow movable paraffin heaters, and there has to be another adult on call in case of emergency. We like them to have gates across the kitchen to prevent the children coming into the kitchen while the minder is cooking, and in addition we supply our registered minders with cooker guards so that if a child grabs a pan handle it doesn't topple off. And of course we offer advice on the storage of medicines, bleach, knives, that sort of thing.
And could you tell us which of these precautions Mrs. Kelly was observing?
Your Honour, I object. Whether or not Mrs. Kelly had a cooker guard has no bearing on Leonie Klein's accident.
Your Honour, we're trying to establish whether Sylvia Kelly neglected Leonie Klein. Her attitude towards safety is therefore surely of the utmost relevance to this case.
Nevertheless, it is not whether she was generally negligent which is at issue, but whether she was negligent in respect to the fire escape. Now, I don't think you should pursue this line of questioning, Mr. Hudson.
As Your Honour pleases.
Now, you say you inspected these premises, Mrs. Tilley. Could you please describe to us how Mrs. Kelly's flat was organised?
Well, yes. She had a big room in front with toys in it where the children played, and in the room next to it she had a cot and some mattresses on the floor for the children to rest.
So she'd clearly given the arrangement some thought.
Yes.
And where were these rooms relative to the fire escape?
Oh, they were in the front of the flat, and the fire escape was at the back.
So they were separated by a long corridor?
Yes.
So if the children had been playing where Mrs. Kelly intended they should play, they would have been nowhere near the balcony?
No. Although with very small children, one can never be sure they're going to do what one intends.
No. Now, Mrs. Tilley, when the council discovers someone has been minding children illegally, what is your normal procedure? Do you normally prosecute?
Well, it depends, but no, not usually. We generally send someone round to see them to try and persuade them to register themselves.
Why is that?
Well, we don't want to penalise them. We'd rather they register themselves, and then we've got another minder, you see, and they get all the backup from the council to which they're entitled.
Yes, I see. Now, what about when you visited Mrs. Kelly? Was this with a view to getting her to register herself or with a view to prosecution?
Well, it was a preliminary investigation, if you like. But of course, Mrs. Klein had made certain allegations which weighed against Mrs. Kelly.
Mrs. Tilley, when you visited Mrs. Kelly on the 10th of August, you did not mention the possibility of the council taking legal action against her, did you?
No, I did not.
Why was this?
Well, as I say, it was a preliminary investigation.
Did you discuss registration with Mrs. Kelly that day?
I asked her why she wasn't registered, yes.
And what did she say?
She said she hadn't realized she was supposed to be registered.
In fact, you suggested that she should register herself, didn't you?
No.
Are you sure Mrs. Kelly says you did?
Quite sure.
Mrs. Tilley, how many day nursery places are there in local authority nurseries in Fulchester?
In local authority day nurseries, there's a total of 250.
250?
Yes.
And how many registered minders do you have?
41.
And how many under fives can you place with these minders, Mrs. Tilley?
They have 60 children presently in the care of registered minders.
Which makes a total of 310 children receiving council-sponsored daycare in Fulchester.
Yes.
That's not many children who can be provided for in a town of 289,000 inhabitants.
No.
You must therefore be very grateful to find reliable minders.
Indeed.
Mrs. Tilley, I ask you again, are you quite sure that on August the 10th you didn't say to Mrs. Kelly that you would send her a form for registration as a council minder?
Quite sure. If Mrs. Kelly thinks I did, then she must have misunderstood me.
Yes. Unless you said you would and then changed your mind.
Oh, no, I didn't. I would never do that under the circumstances after the accident.
Mrs. Tilley, when did you first meet Mrs. Klein?
She came in to see us at the department on August the 20th.
And what was the purpose of this visit?
She wanted to know about Mrs. Kelly.
Whether you were prosecuting or not?
Yes.
What did you tell her?
I told her it was under review.
Now, the Fulchester Chronicle ran this story on baby minding on Monday the 23rd of August. What was the date that the Social Services Department brought charges of unregistered child minding against Mrs. Kelly?
August the 24th.
The day after the article. Mrs. Tilley, the position is that until the Fulchester Chronicle publicised the Leonie Klein accident, you were quite prepared, despite the accident, to register Mrs. Kelly as a council childminder. I suggest you saw the accident for what it was. A truly tragic event in the life of a disobedient little girl, but an accident nevertheless. And it was only the adverse criticism that this case attracted to your department which caused your about turn and your decision to take up your legal right and prosecute Mrs. Kelly in the magistrate's court. That is the position, is it not?
The newspaper article had nothing to do with any of the decisions we took.
No further questions, Your Honour.
Shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Just a moment, Mr. Hudson. Before Mr. Hudson begins his examination, have you any explanation as to why you were not in court earlier? Do you have any idea how much delays of this sort cost? Did you know you were supposed to be here this morning?
Yes, sir.
Well, why weren't you? Were you ill?
No, sir.
What happened then?
I don't want to be a prosecution witness.
What do you mean you don't want to be a prosecution witness?
I don't think Sylvia did it.
Well, if you don't think Sylvia did it, Mrs. Williams, then it is your duty to come to this court and tell us why, on what grounds you think she didn't do it. You're here to tell the court what you know. The jury will decide on the basis of all the evidence whether or not they consider the defendant is guilty. Now, please, Mr. Hudson, let us continue. We've wasted quite enough time and public money as it is.
Mrs. Williams, you live in the flat directly beneath that of the defendant, number 8, Micklethwaite Mansions.
Yes, sir.
And were you at home on the day of the accident?
Yes, sir.
I see. And could you hear anything from your flat of what was going on upstairs in Mrs. Kelly's?
I could hear children running, shouting, babies crying, that sort of thing.
Yes, and was this a normal sort of noise to be coming from upstairs?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mrs. Williams, can you say whether Mrs. Kelly had her balcony door open on that morning?
Yes, sir, all morning.
But how could you tell?
Well, sir, the sound carries different when it's open.
Yes, I see, but are you sure that she didn't shut the door at all?
Yes, sir.
What were you doing that morning, Mrs. Williams?
Oh, tidying up, washing up, ironing, things like that. Then after lunch, I went out on the balcony for a little rest.
And can you tell us what happened while you were resting on the balcony?
I saw the child came out, and I said to her, does Sylvia know you're out here?
Oh, this is Leonie Klein you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Did the child reply?
No, sir. She don't say nothing. She pretends she don't hear me.
So what happened next?
I say to her, you go in. You're going to fall and hurt yourself.
Did she go in?
No, sir.
And then what happened?
I give a yell for Sylvie, and no one come. So I make to go upstairs to tell Sylvie the child out there. Then I heard the child scream.
So you didn't actually see her fall?
No, sir.
So what did you do next?
I looked down and see the child lying in the yard below, and people running, gathering round her. And I phoned for the ambulance.
And then?
And then I went to tell Sylvie what happened. She was just going down to the child. I meet her on the stair.
Did she say anything?
Oh, she's in an awful state. Poor girl. She said, what am I going to do with the other children? I have to go to the hospital. I say to her, I'll mind them for you.
And did you mind them for her?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mrs. Williams, when you went into Mrs. Kelly's flat, was the balcony door then open or shut?
It was shut.
Was it locked?
Yes, sir.
So shortly after the accident, when you actually saw the door, it was shut and locked.
Yes,
Yet
sir.
according to you, it had been open all the time.
Well, sir, I think Sylvie shut it when she went downstairs because of the little ones she was leaving upstairs.
Yes, though, of course, it's possible that she'd shut it much earlier when she locked the child out. Now, Mrs. Williams, I want to go back to when you were sitting on your balcony. You see, what I don't understand is this. I mean, is your balcony in the same sort of dangerous condition as Mrs. Kelly's?
Yes, sir.
Well, how can you sit out on it then? Isn't that very dangerous?
Well, sir, I don't actually sit out on it. I sit just inside the door with the door open. That way I get the breeze, sir.
So you're not actually on the balcony itself?
No, sir.
So you can't actually see whether the door is open or shut?
No, sir.
In order to see somebody out there, you'd have had to peer out, wouldn't you?
I heard Leonie first. That's what made me look up.
Oh, you heard her? So there you were, snoozing in your doorway, and you heard a sound over your head. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
So you can't really say how long Leonie had been out there, can you?
No.
So for all you know, she might have been out there for quite some time. Thank you very much, Mrs. Williams. You've been very helpful.
No. Just a moment, Mrs. Williams. Mrs. Kelly's counsel may like to ask you a few questions.
Not very much, Mrs. Williams. I shan't keep you long. Now, could you at any time hear anything which was said by Mrs. Kelly to the children?
Sometimes. Depends on what room she was in.
What sort of things did you hear her say?
Oh, I hear her say, be quiet, stop quarreling, and sometimes I hear her say, coming off that balcony.
You heard her say that, coming off the balcony?
Yes, Mum.
Was she addressing a particular child when she said that?
Yes, Mum. She was shouting at Leonie.
So you actually heard Mrs. Kelly tell Leonie to come in off the balcony?
Yes, Mum.
What time was that?
Oh, lots of times.
No, was it morning or afternoon?
All the time. Morning, afternoon, all the time.
Mrs. Williams, when was the last time you heard Mrs. Kelly tell Leonie to come in off the balcony?
When I was sitting out there.
But what time was it?
Oh, 20 to 3, 10 to 3, something like that.
And what time did you call the ambulance?
Just after 3 o'clock.
So far from smacking the child and locking her out on the balcony, Mrs. Kelly was, a few moments before the accident, telling her to come in.
Yes, Mum.
Mrs. Williams, would you say that phoning for the ambulance took you long enough for Mrs. Kelly to have time to lock the door before leaving her flat?
Yes, Mum.
And would you say that being occupied with the telephone, you would have been unlikely to notice the sound of a door closing upstairs?
Quite right, Mum.
Mrs. Williams, did Mrs. Kelly say anything about the accident, about how it happened when you met her on the stairs?
No, Mum. She was only thinking how she's going to go to the hospital, what she's going to do with the other children.
And what about when she came back? She said something about it then, didn't she?
No, Mum. The only thing she said was she never ought to look after that child. That child never do as she told.
Thank you, Mrs. Williams. You've been very helpful. Now, Mrs. Kelly, when did you first start to mind Leonie Klein?
Leonie would have been about 3 at the time.
Did you look after her regularly?
No.
So what was the arrangement?
Well, what would happen was, her mother would ask me to look after her for a week or 2 at a time, and then I wouldn't hear from her for weeks on end.
Did you like this arrangement?
Not really, no.
Why not?
Well, I never knew where I was. The child would just be getting used to me, and then her mother would come and take her away. And it was short notice, too, nearly always.
Her mother would ask you to look after her at short notice?
Yes. And she'd never bother what time she'd pick her up of a night time, either.
And how did Leonie react when her mother was late?
She used to cry, but she just had to put up with it.
And did you tell Mrs. Klein that it upset Leonie when she was late?
Yes.
And what did Mrs. Klein say?
She said that it wouldn't happen again.
And did it?
Yes. That was why I said I didn't want to look after Leonie no more.
You told Mrs. Klein this?
Yes.
When did you tell her this?
Last time I looked after Leonie, in May, I think it was.
Now, apart from the fact that you feel the mother was being inconsiderate, were there any other reasons why you were unhappy about looking after Leonie?
Yes.
Can you tell us what they were?
Well, it was just that she was getting very difficult.
Leonie was getting very difficult?
Yes.
In what way?
Well, she was one of these children that always needed attention. She had to be the centre of attention all the time. And she was a stirrer.
Why do you think Leonie was like this?
Well, I put it down to the way her mother treated her.
Can you explain what you mean by that?
Well, the child never knew where she was. She had no regular routine, like. She was always being chopped and changed about with arrangements and
Yes,
that.
I see. Now, Mrs. Kelly, you say that in May you told Mrs. Klein you would no longer mind Leonie. Could you tell us what made you change your mind in August?
Yes, well, what it was, Mrs. Klein came round on the Friday, and she said that it was an emergency and that she was desperate.
So you agreed to oblige her?
What?
You agreed to do her a favour and mind Leonie?
Yes.
Why?
Well, I don't know, really. She wasn't one for taking no for an answer, wasn't Mrs. Klein?
Join us again tomorrow when The Queen against Kelly will be concluded in the Crown Court. The case you're about to see is a fictional one, but the procedure is legally accurate. The characters are played by actors, but the jury is selected from members of the general public who will retire at the end of the trial to reach their own unrehearsed verdict. Sylvia Kelly is a childminder living in a dilapidated block of flats in Fulchester. Whilst in her care, a small girl, Leonie Klein, has fallen 2 floors from a dangerous fire escape and been badly injured. The child claims that the minder had locked her out on the fire escape because she was cross with her. We rejoin the case as Sylvia Kelly tells Mrs. Fenton, counsel for the defence, how she started to look after other people's children.
I'd like to go back to how you started childminding, Mrs. Kelly. What made you decide to take up childminding?
Well, it was just after my husband left. A woman in the same buildings as me asked me if I knew of a minder.
Just after your husband left? How long ago was that?
He went about 3 years ago.
Do you know where he is?
No.
Does he send you any money?
No.
I believe you have 2 very small children you have to support.
Yes.
How old are they?
Well, Kevin's 4 and Loren's nearly 3.
I see. And so this neighbour of yours asked if you knew of somebody who could mind children?
Yes.
Was there any reason why you should have known?
Well, it was just after the baby was born, and I was looking for a minder myself.
You were looking for a minder?
Yes.
Why was that?
Well, I had to go out and get a job, like.
Oh, I see. And did you find a minder?
No.
So that was why you decided to mind this neighbour's child or children?
Child, yes.
I see. Carry on, Mrs. Fenton.
Now, after that, you began minding other people's children as well?
Yes.
How did you set about that? Did you advertise?
No.
Then how did they find you?
Well, I don't know. Word gets around, I suppose.
Did you have many parents asking you to mind their children?
Yeah, loads of them.
Did you take them all?
No.
Why not?
I hadn't the room.
How did you come to mind Leonie Klein?
Well, what it was, my brother-in-law used to do painting and decorating for the Kleins. And one day, Mrs. Klein happened to say that she needed a minder, and he suggested me.
And how long ago was that?
It'd be about 2.5 years ago, I suppose.
And so Leonie was coming to you on and off from that time onwards?
Yes.
Now, Mrs. Kelly, I want you to cast your mind back to that last Monday morning when Mrs. Klein brought Leonie round the day of the accident. What time was it?
It was about 8 o'clock.
That's very early.
Mrs. Klein said she had a train to catch.
Did she tell you where she was going?
She said she was going to the television studios in Manchester.
Did she leave a phone number?
No.
Did she ever leave a phone number?
No.
Never?
No.
Did she tell you what time she would collect Leonie?
Yes, she said it would be about 6 o'clock, that her friend would pick Leonie up then.
Now, do you remember a conversation with Mrs. Klein on the subject of the balcony?
Yes.
Could you tell us how that conversation went?
Well, what it was, Leonie wouldn't go in the front with the other children. She said she didn't want to. And she went off in the opposite direction towards the fire escape. And her mother followed her, and that was when she said she thought it wasn't very safe.
And what did you say?
Well, I said it got very hot with the door closed, and the children knew they hadn't to play out there.
And what did Mrs. Klein say?
Well, she said she thought I ought to shut it.
And did you?
Yes.
Now, after Mrs. Klein had left and gone to work, what happened then?
Well, the children were just playing like.
And was the balcony door open or shut?
It was shut most of the morning, and then the sun came round and it got very hot, so I opened it.
And what did Leonie do?
Well, she didn't notice for a long while, and then Mr. McLean came for his children just after dinner, and that was when she noticed it was open, and she started playing up.
Can you explain what you mean by that?
Well, she kept sneaking along the corridor and going out there and shouting, "It isn't dangerous for me," that sort of thing.
And what did you do?
Well, I brought her back in again.
And what were the other children doing at this time?
They were playing. The television was on some of the time, but they kept coming and telling me, you know what kids are like. They kept saying, "Leonie says she's going to go out there again," or "Leonie's gone out there again."
They would come and tell you?
Yes.
Well, where were you?
Well, at first I was trying to get the washing up done, and then I had the babies to look after, so I was in and out to them.
But you didn't leave the flat?
Oh, no.
I see. Carry on, Mrs. Fenton.
So, the other children realised Leonie was being naughty?
Yes.
Did she realise, do you think?
She realised, all right. She was being a right little madam.
Now, when Leonie fell, Mrs. Kelly, could you describe the events leading up to that?
Yes, well, I was feeding the Murphy baby at the time in the kitchen, and it was all quiet for a while. And then my Kevin comes running in and says, "Ma'am, Leonie says she's going to go out on that balcony again."
And what did you say?
I said, "You tell her she better not let me see her."
And was the balcony door open or shut at this time?
It was open.
And then what happened?
Well, Kevin comes in and says, "Ma'am, she's gone out there."
What did you do?
Well, I was in the middle of changing the baby by this time, and I was just doing up her nappy when Kevin comes in and says, "Ma'am, she's fallen."
So what did you do then, Mrs. Kelly?
Well, I went out to look, made sure he wasn't having me on like. And right enough, she had fallen. She was lying down in the yard. So I locked the door, and I put the children in the front, and I went down to her.
You locked the door? Which door?
The balcony door.
You locked the balcony door? Now, this was after Leonie had fallen and before you went down to her?
Yes.
Why did you do that, Mrs. Kelly?
Well, I didn't want the other children crowding out there to see what had happened. They'd have all been falling off.
Now, you then left Mrs. Selma Williams in charge of the remaining children and went to Fulchester Hospital with Leonie, from where you managed to contact her mother.
Yes.
Did you see Mrs. Klein that day?
Yes.
Did she ask how the accident had happened?
No.
Did she say anything to you?
Yes, she said, "Don't think you're going to get away with this. I shall sue you for everything you've got."
Now, the next day, Mrs. Tilley of Fulchester Social Services came to see you, didn't she?
Yes.
Did she say anything about the council taking you before the magistrates for unregistered child minding?
No.
Did she say anything about registration?
Yes, she said I would have been better off registered. That way I would have had the council standing by me if anything had gone wrong.
And did you think registration was a good idea?
Yes.
Even though it would have meant you could have taken fewer children, therefore earned less money?
Yes.
Did Mrs. Tilley say anything else about registration?
Yes, she said if I wanted to be registered, she'd send me the forms.
And did she?
No, she never.
Mrs. Kelly, did anyone from the Fulchester Chronicle come to see you?
Yes.
Can you remember when that was?
It was on the following Friday, a week after the accident happened.
The 20th?
Yes.
And what did they want to know?
They wanted to know how many children I looked after, that sort of thing.
They knew about the accident?
Yes.
Who do you think had told them?
Well, it's obvious, isn't it? Mrs. Klein.
You don't think it could have been one of your neighbours?
No. If it had been them, they would have been round the week the accident happened.
Mrs. Kelly, did you tell the man from the Fulchester Chronicle what he wanted to know?
No. I told him to get lost.
Mrs. Kelly, perhaps you could just remind the jury how many children you were looking after on the day that Leonie had her accident.
7.
And what were their ages?
Well, Leonie was the oldest. She was just turned 4. And then my Kevin, he was 3, and my Lorraine was nearly 2.
They're your own children?
That's right.
Yes, carry on, Mrs. Kelly.
Then the McLean boys, the oldest was the same age as Kevin, and McGregor was 9 months, and I had Zenit Patel, she was 3, and Mandy Murphy, she'd only just started, she was 4 months.
I see. Well, now, correct me if I'm wrong, Mrs. Kelly, but by my reckoning, you had in the house that day a 4-year-old, 3 3-year-olds, a 2-year-old, and 2 babies. Now, do you really think one woman can take care of so many small children?
Well, that was why I didn't want to look after Leonie no more.
It wasn't the only reason, Mrs. Kelly. You also said that you disliked the child, haven't you?
I thought she was spoilt, yes.
Now, this fire escape, Mrs. Kelly, I mean, had you never thought of having it repaired?
I'd asked the landlord to do something about it, yes.
Oh, and what did he say?
Well, he said he'd send someone round, but he never.
So you went on minding children regardless of the danger? Did it never occur to you to block the doorway with something in view of the ages of some of the children you were looking after?
I had nothing to block it with.
You soon found something after the accident, didn't you? What about insurance, Mrs. Kelly? When you first started minding other people's children, did you take out any form of insurance against an accident such as this one?
No.
Why not?
Well, I just didn't think about it.
Well, that was very unwise of you, Mrs. Kelly, as I'm sure you realise by now. Now, I want to turn to the sequence of events leading up to Leonie's fall. Did you shout at Leonie at all in the course of the morning?
I might have done.
Now, you told my learned friend that you brought her in several times. Did you also strike her?
I gave her a wallop on the backside one time I brought her in, yes.
According to Leonie, Mrs. Kelly, it was not one wallop you administered, but several.
No, it was a wallop, just like I've given my Kevin many a time.
Well, that's not what Leonie says. However, you've admitted that you didn't much care for the child, that you shouted at her, that you manhandled her, and that you struck her, haven't you?
Well, I suppose so,
Did you also use the words, stay out there, then, to Leonie?
No.
Are you sure?
Look, I never put her out. I told her to go and play with the other children.
We're talking about the words, stay out there, then, Mrs. Kelly. Did you say them?
No.
Well, it's a very specific phrase for a child to have invented. I mean, how do you think she got hold of this phrase?
Well, I don't know. I might have said, well, let her stay out there then. Later, when Kevin comes in and says she's going to go out again.
You might have said, stay out there then.
Well, let her stay out there then, or stay out there then, something like that.
Mrs. Kelly, I suggest to you there's no might have said about it. You know very well that you did say those words.
But I never put her out. I swear I wasn't locking her out. I was just fed up with her, that's all. I didn't mean any harm by it. I was just at the end of my tether. It was something to say.
So, you disliked the child. You shouted at her. You manhandled her. You hit her. And you said the words, stay out there then. Now, do you really expect the jury to believe you didn't also lock her out?
Yes. You're twisting it all. It wasn't like that.
Mrs. Kelly, I suggest that you are the one who is twisting it all. I suggest to you that a child of that age does not invent complicated and incriminating stories.
That child's capable of anything. Besides, her mother put her up to it. You wait. If they put me away for this, she'll be after the compensation.
Now, Mr. McLean, I understand you've been bringing up your 2 children single-handed since your wife left you 18 months ago.
No, that's right, I have.
Has this been difficult?
Aye, very difficult.
What is your work, Mr. McLean?
I'm a charge nurse in a mental hospital.
What hours do you work?
Well, it's shift work with every other week on nights.
Oh. And ever since your wife left, you must have had to find somebody to look after the children while you were at work.
Yes.
Can you tell us how you set about that?
Well, first of all, I went to see the council.
With a view to what?
Well, I wanted a minder for them.
And what did the council say?
Well, they said that they thought it would be very difficult, what with me working shifts and that.
Did they recommend a minder?
No, they said they hadn't anybody could do it.
So what did they suggest?
Well, they said I could change my job.
Could you?
No.
So what did they say then?
They said they thought I'd better put the kiddies in care, have them fostered like.
And what was your view of that?
Well, I didn't want to do that.
You wanted to keep your children with you?
Aye.
What did you do then?
Well, I looked all over the place, but I couldn't find anyone to take the kiddies because of the shifts. And then somebody recommended Sylvia.
And she agreed to take them?
She did, aye.
Despite the shift work?
Despite the shift work.
And were you satisfied with Mrs. Kelly as a minder?
Oh, very satisfied, aye. Couldn't have wished for better.
Now, Mr. McLean, what time did you pick up your children on the 9th of August?
Be about 2 o'clock. I was on nights that week, so what I used to do is I used to go home, have a sleep, then get up, go round and get the boys. Well, that way I used to see a bit of them during the day.
And when you went into Mrs. Kelly's flat at about 2 o'clock, did you happen to notice whether the door to the fire escape was open or shut?
It was open.
You're sure about that?
Yes.
Did you see Leonie Klein there that day?
Yes, I did. She wanted to come away with me, actually.
She wanted to go home with you?
Well, she said she did, anyway.
Did you seem unhappy when she said this?
Oh, no. It was like as if she just didn't like to see someone else's dad coming and hers not, if you know what I mean. And then when Sylvia said that she had to stay, that's when she started playing up.
Playing up?
Well, saying she wasn't going to stay. Telling Sylvia her mummy used to take her to the park in the afternoon, saying she wasn't going to come to Sylvia's house again, that sort of thing. And then when she thought Sylvia wasn't looking, she sloped off along the corridor to the balcony.
And what did Mrs. Kelly do?
Oh, she took it all in her stride. She just brought her in, told her not to do it again.
Was Mrs. Kelly cross with Leonie?
Well, she wasn't very pleased.
And what happened then, Mr. McLean?
I don't know. I went then. I wasn't there.
Was the door still open when you left?
Yes, it was.
Thank you very much, Mr. McLean. You've been most helpful.
I've only a couple of questions to put to you, Mr. McLean. Now, you said that you arrived at Mrs. Kelly's flat at about 2 o'clock. What time would you say you left?
Oh, 2:15, something like that.
Yes, and the ambulance was summoned for Leonie at 3:04, so there was over half an hour, in fact, after you left, during which she could have lost patience with Leonie, as indeed she admits that she did, and locked her out.
I don't think she would.
But there was half an hour after you left before the accident. You will agree that you can't possibly know what happened in that half hour.
No, that's right enough.
Now, the other matter, Mr. McLean, concerns one of your own children, the older boy, Robert.
Aye?
I understand he had an accident one day at Mrs. Kelly's. A burn, I think it was?
Yes, he did.
And this burn had to be treated at Fulchester Hospital?
Yes.
Well, how did this burn occur, Mr. McLean?
Well, what he'd done, he'd pulled a pan down on himself.
And you still say that you couldn't have wished for a better minder than Sylvia Kelly?
Yes. Well, accidents... All children have accidents. It's just one of those things.
No, Mr. McLean. It's possible to make sure that pans don't fall off stoves. It's just a question of taking the proper precautions. And precautions, I suggest, were not Mrs. Kelly's strong point. Thank you very much, Mr. McLean.
You must remember that this is a very serious charge. The fact of the matter is that a small child has been very seriously injured. Now, what you are being asked to decide is not the extent to which other people are blameworthy, but whether or not Mrs. Kelly caused this accident, either by willful ill-treatment or willful neglect, or both. Now, if you feel sure, in view of the evidence which has been brought, that Mrs. Kelly deliberately locked the child out on this dangerous balcony, then you may ask yourselves, did this constitute willful ill-treatment? Now, if you think she did not lock the child out, then you must ask yourselves, did leaving the balcony door open constitute willful neglect? That is, did Mrs. Kelly leave the door open, knowing it to be dangerous, after giving the matter some thought? Now, if you think she did, then you are justified in bringing in a verdict of guilty. Remember that the burden of proof is on the prosecution, and that unless they can satisfy you so that you can feel sure that the accused has committed an offence, you must find her not guilty.
The prisoner will stand. Members of the jury, will your foreman please stand? Please answer this question, yes or no. Have you reached a verdict on which you are all agreed?
Yes.
On the first count, do you find the defendant, Sylvia Kelly, guilty or not guilty of willfully ill-treating Leonie Klein?
Not guilty.
On the second count, do you find the defendant, Sylvia Kelly, guilty or not guilty of willfully neglecting Leonie Klein?
Guilty.
Well, the social report I have on you talks about your feelings of guilt and remorse about your accident, and of your struggle to do your best by your own children. With that in mind, and because I can't help thinking that situations like yours arise because of a lack of provision of adequate child-minding facilities by the bodies which should be supplying them, namely the local authorities, I am going to be very merciful. I am not going to fine you because it seems to me that that would just put an extra strain on your already very limited resources. I am going to give you a conditional discharge for 1 year. You may go.
You can join us again when our cameras return to bring you another case in the Crown Court.